Van D, a dynamic leader with decades of experience building companies and crushing sales. He's been there and done that.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Van D.
Inspiring audiences across the country to do it too. Here's Van.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another Van Deeb podcast. Man, am I glad you're here with me today. This podcast today is sponsored by BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com. BetterHelp is one of the greatest organizations out there today because we need them. They are helping us with our attitudes. We have a lot of people that are sad, depressed, and just a whole lot of health issues with mental illness. And I'll tell you something, I'm a big fan of BetterHelp. Matter of fact, I'm such a big fan that anybody that goes and does a little business with BetterHelp and uses one of their 17,000 counselors and therapists, they're going to give you a 10% discount just by mentioning my name. So the way to do it is you go to BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Van Deeb. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Van Deeb. And these guys are there. They're affordable. They're just helping people get through tough times. And man, we need it. We just do. They've been helping so many people that they're recruiting an additional counselors in all 50 states. They're getting more and more counselors because the demand is so high. So check them out, BetterHelp, HELP.com/Van Deeb, and make your life better. That's what our podcasts are all about. The Van Deeb podcasts are all about becoming better and taking advantage of this wonderful life that we have and making it better and being more productive. So today, I usually talk about becoming a better salesman, doing things to make your career more productive, inspiring you to be the best you can possibly be. And we're going to continue that theme. But I want to tell you something. If we're going to be effective at our career, if we're going to be effective in our everyday lives, we have got to find ways to make our personal life better. If we make our personal life better, we're going to be happier. And if we're going to be happier, what's that going to do for our business career? So today, I want to talk to you about what's made me happy and what has added joy, Joy, what has added joy to my life. You ready for this? The new joy in my life, actually going on 2 years, has 4 legs. It's my puppy. Now, I know joy to some of you may be getting a brand new car or something along those lines, or getting a new house, or getting new clothes, or losing 30 pounds. All those to me is happiness and joy, everything I just mentioned. But man alive, this joy is something I never experienced. So ladies and gentlemen, I became a dog owner at 59 years old. In 2 weeks will be 2 years that I've had this puppy. He turned 2 February 13th. So he's a little over 2 years old. And I want to tell you something that Tom Jones said. He said, dogs have a way of finding the people who need them and filling the emptiness we didn't even know we had. I'm telling you that quote because that's me. I've been very blessed. God has been very good to me. I've been a very hard worker in my life. I've never taken anything for granted. And I have a work ethic that in my industry I think is unmatchable. And so I've created my own happiness. But man, this dog has brought me joy. My dog's name is Baxter. He is a Havanese, which they're smaller dogs. It's from the Bichon family, and they're Baxter. The Havanese are the national dog of Cuba. And what I understand is that this breed is fairly new. It's in the 90s when it came out, and they're a member, like I said, of the Bichon family. But my first year with Baxter was like raising my daughter. My daughter's 32 now. And my first year, it was really difficult. It was, learning to be a good dog owner, accepting the fact I have to get up 3 times a night to let him out. I'm not really good at saying no. And so if he wanted something to eat, I'd pretty much give it to him all day, which I know is the wrong thing. But now he's just finishing up his second year being alive, being my dog, and he's become so much easier now. I don't get him up, I don't get up with him in the middle of the night anymore. He gets up with me. So the roles have been reversed a little bit, but the joy that he brings me. Now, I like simple things make me happy. I don't need big, gigantic material things to make me smile. It's the simple things. So the joy that Baxter, my puppy, brings to me is just laying in the carpet and rolling around with him, or chasing him around the backyard, or he'll go grab a toy and he wants me to throw it and chase him around. And he just brings me this incredible amount of joy. So my message to you today is, if you're missing out on something in your life that you think will bring you joy, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What trigger are you waiting for in your life to bring joy into it? So, I'm trying to do things to make sure in my life that I'm bringing happiness. And I want to tell you something. Like, for instance, I'm learning to cook stuff. Instead I'd go buy a bag of snacks and have them sitting on my counter. Now I'm getting a big amount of frozen vegetables, putting them on a pan, and I'm baking them for a half hour. I know that doesn't sound like much to a lot of you, but to a guy that never needed a kitchen, it does mean a lot. And I'm baking vegetables, and then when I pass by the kitchen, I'm grabbing something. I'm grabbing one as a snack. These little things, little teeny things, is what's bringing joy in my life. So let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about today how we can add some joy to your life. One of the things that I think we all have to start out every day. Now, I just encourage you to give this a shot. First of all, wake up every day and say something that has to do with you being grateful that you're alive. Seriously, wake up every morning and make some sort of affirmation. Maybe you're looking up outside in the sky and you're just smiling real big, saying, thank you, God, for letting me be alive today, for waking up today, or anything like that. The first thing you should do is think about something that you're grateful for. And then another thing that you may want to encourage, and that I encourage you to start doing, is make it your mission to be the bright spot in somebody else's day. Think about it. If you wake up in the morning, first of all, you say how grateful you are that you're alive, or grateful the sun is shining. What about if your next mission statement was, today I want to be the bright spot in somebody's life? And that may mean just giving them a smile when you pass them by them in the hallway. Or that may mean making a phone call and telling somebody you've been thinking about them. Wake up every day with the mindset of, how can I be a bright spot in somebody's life today? So this all goes together with my dog Baxter. He brings me joy. He makes me in the morning when I'm with him, he makes me smile. He takes my mind off all these other things in life, because he's just an innocent little dog that wants to be loved. So a guy, Josh Billings, he said, a dog is the only thing on earth that loves you more than he loves himself. Now think about it. Don't dogs just show us all this attention and how much that they love us? So, by the way, if you guys are wondering where I got the name Baxter for my dog, well, most of you are guessing it, and you're right. One of my favorite movies is Anchorman, and Ron Burgundy, his dog was named Baxter. And I'm telling you, my dog and his dog have a lot of similar characteristics. So I didn't have a choice. I had to name him Baxter. So let's talk about some things that might bring us joy. And like I said, the purpose of me doing these podcasts is I want to help you live your best life. I want to help you be the best at your business, the best salesperson, the best manager, the best leader, and just enjoy your life and, take advantage of this God-given gift that we have called being alive. So when you're thinking about joy and adding more joy to your life, maybe you want to do something that you loved as a kid. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't care if you're 50, 60, 70, 90. If there's something that you enjoyed as a kid, why can't you enjoy it now? So maybe that'll bring you joy. Another way to add joy to your life is laugh more. You have no idea, or maybe you do, how laughing can take you out of one mood and put you in another. I know I had a real difficult time during COVID. I not only had COVID and I was scared to death I was going to have to go to the hospital, and thank God I didn't. But I saw so much pain. I saw so much death, so much negativity. I can't watch it anymore. I can't, because it messed with me so bad. So I'm doing things like watching things that if I am going to watch TV, I want to watch something that's going to make me laugh. Laughing can change your mindset. So the other thing is, look in your past. And I'm not one to say, I'm not one to ever say concentrate on your past. I always say think about your past on things you don't want to do again. But one thing you can do with your past is look at some of your old photos and look at some of the things that you used to do that make you smile, and be grateful that you had an opportunity to do those. It's just like with me, I'm still into music, but not as much as I was when I was younger. I listen to some of these oldie stations because it brings back these old songs from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that I was crazy about, and it puts a big smile on my face. I want to tell you something. It is a fact. There's imaging tests, there's research that were done that shows that your brains release good hormones, the feel-good hormones, when you listen to music. So a lot of that will bring you joy. Another thing is, I really encourage this, ladies and gentlemen. If there's something you want to do in life, what are you waiting for? Honestly, what are you waiting for? If there's something you want to do in life, something that you want to experience, just go for it. Think about it. Just go for it. And if what you want takes planning, maybe you have to save some money, then start planning and start saving some money. Don't say to yourself, someday. Don't say to yourself, someday I'm going to do this. Make a commitment to yourself that you're going to fulfill what is on your mind and what you want to accomplish. So my message to you is go for it. The other thing is, you hear me talk about being a bright spot. Do the best you can. If you want to add joy to your life, then add joy to other people's lives. Because I want to tell you something. Every time I do something that I know I made somebody else happy, it brings joy to my life. It makes me happy. Like, for instance, I want to tell you something. So I got a call this morning from a wonderful lady, and I know she's probably listening, Pat. She said she got my book, my Baxter book. I wrote a book about my dog Baxter and the joy that he brings me. And it's called Baxter, My First Dog at 59. You can get it at vandeeb.com, and this book is all about joy. Anyway, she ordered a book, and she called me this morning, and she goes, this book really made me feel good. She goes, you're from Omaha, Nebraska. And I said, yes, I am. She goes, I've got a good friend that's really struggling right now, and she could really use a lift, and this book will really help her. So long story short, I said, you know what I'll do? I said, I'm going to watch for your order to come across. And so she ordered another book. And I said, you tell me what you want me to write on it, and I'm going to hand deliver it. So ladies and gentlemen, when I leave here today, I'm going to go deliver this book to this person in Omaha, Nebraska, hand deliver it to her front door, And you know what? I'm not just doing it for Pat from Scottsdale, Arizona, that called me about her friend that could use this book. I'm doing it because it brings me joy, makes me happy that I can do that for somebody else. Just think about it. It's the littlest things and makes me very happy. So spread happiness. Wake up every day saying, what can I do to try to help other people be happy? And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something. It's all about the people you choose to be around. Bringing joy in your life is a lot about who you choose to be around. If you hang out with negative people that say negative things, you're going to be just like them. If you hang out with people that are constantly complaining and they're not happy in their life, you're going to join them. You're going to be just like them. But if you hang out with people and the people in your sphere are people that appreciate life, they respect people, and they have a good outlook, you're going to be just like them. So in order to really understand and get joy in your life, you got to be around those people. You just do, because it makes it a lot easier. So my question to you is, if you right now, right this very second, ladies and gentlemen, you stop and say, well, I would have more joy if I, and there's a blank. So I'm bringing this up for a reason. I want you to write this down. Maybe not right now, but when you're done listening. I would add more joy to my life if I blank. Fill it in. Maybe it's not to have a dog like Baxter. Maybe it's something else. If I lost 20 pounds, if I ate better, if I worked harder, if I was around more like-minded people, whatever, fill that in. Don't wait. What are you waiting for? If you're waiting for someday, I don't know when someday is. I've never seen someday on a calendar. And I want to tell you something. If you really want to add joy to your life, take care of yourself. I mean it. Make self-care part of your routine. I want to tell you something. When I walk in Hurrdat Media, I walked in here today, and I'm feeling real good about myself. I've been trying to eat better and work out a little bit more. And 3 people, Sasha, Jill, and Pat, made a comment, I'm looking good. You know how good that made me feel? Self-care is a huge part of bringing joy into your life, because you know what they say, it doesn't get old. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect other people to? If you want to manifest and bring all these wonderful things in your life, love yourself. Take care of yourself. Do things that benefit you. And I want to tell you something. A lot of people don't make that leap. They don't add joy. They don't bring things in their life because they worry. They're worrying about what if. I want to tell you something. That one word, worry, keeps more people from accomplishing their dreams and their goals. I want to tell you a coincidence. Maybe you find this a coincidence. I don't find it a coincidence. I think it's a life lesson. Did you know do not be afraid is written in the Bible 365 times? Why do you think that is? Why do you think do not be afraid is written in the Bible 365 times? Do you think because maybe we should remind ourselves of that every day? Replace worrying with maybe a strong work ethic, with maybe adding more joy to your life. Do it. Just get up and do it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Worrying is so negative. It can change your whole life by worrying too much. And you know something? You know why you know why I know a lot about worry? Because I'm that guy. There's a little part of me that worries about things. Not productive. Worrying has never got me anywhere. So, please, just do it. What are we waiting for? I mean, seriously, Are you waiting until you're in hospice or you're on your deathbed saying, you know what? I could have done this, that, and that to be happier and add joy to my life. No. Don't wait. Do it more. Do it more often, and do it now. So I got to tell you something. So this dog Baxter, my puppy, my son, that's what I call him, my son. So he's done more for me than you'll know. So I'm giving a seminar to an investment group. About 120 people had me as their guest speaker. I always bring my books. I bring Power of Asking. I bring Common Sense Selling. I bring 23 crucial points to guarantee your success in real estate. But this night, I brought my book, Baxter, My First Dog at 59. A bunch of people bought them. And there's one guy, Tim Stevens, that I'm very grateful for, that comes to so many of my seminars, and I just love it that he's there over the many years. He's always there, sometimes in the first row. He bought the Baxter book. He calls me up 2 days later, and he goes, Van Deeb. And I said, yeah, Tim, how you doing, buddy? And he goes, well, I read your Baxter book, and I think you've gone soft on us. And I mean, no one has ever told me that you've gone lighthearted and this and that. And you know what? I stopped and thought about it, and Tim was exactly right. I have gone soft. I've learned more about love. I have learned more about love. And I've learned more about joy. But you know what I've learned more about than anything? Instead of saying, like to my dog, I love you, Baxter, I'm not doing that. I mean, I say it, but I want to show him. To me, love is actions. Show me you love me. Show me you care about me. Don't just tell me. Show me. Do things to show me. So here's just some of the things I do for my dog to let him know I love him. I clean out his water bowl every day. Not every other day. I want him to have a clean, fresh water bowl every day. I make sure that his food isn't old, and I make sure that that's fresh. If he grabs at my pant string, at my pant leg, that means that he wants to play a little bit. Do I have time to play with somebody I love, or should I just tell him I love him? No. So I am learning to love more. That's one of the things that adding joy to your life will be. And I want to tell you something. You may say to yourself, well, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy to be lovey-dovey with things, and I'm not a guy that searches for joy. I want to tell you something. The wonderful thing about us humans is tomorrow morning we can make a change. We can make a decision and a choice, which, as you know, you hear me talk about all the time, is about choices. Everything we do in life is a choice. If you make a choice tomorrow morning, you want to add more joy to your life, you want to change your life, then you can do it. There's no difference in all of this that I'm talking about. There's no difference in this in goal setting. What's your plan? I mean, do you have a plan for happiness? Do you have a plan for joy? Maybe you stop and think after listening to this podcast and say, what's my plan for joy? How can I plan to add more joy? And I want to tell you something. You know the old saying, failing to plan is really planning to fail. And remember this, you don't have to be great to get started. You don't have to be a master of finding joy and love and all this and making better choices in your life. You don't have to master that. You don't have to be great to get started. You just have to get started to be great. Just remember that. We all have to start somewhere. Now, to me, one of the things that bring me joy, besides my dog Baxter, for years before I had him, I found joy every December. I would sit down and plan out what I want to accomplish in the following year. So goal setting and planning brought me happiness and brought me joy. That's just a fact. Treat everything in your life. Make sure you have a plan to accomplish it. Ladies and gentlemen, today, I hope that just talking a little bit about my dog and the joy that he's brought me maybe sent a trigger to you, some sort of a trigger that you may say, you know what, if Van Diep can find joy with something with 4 legs, maybe I can find joy with something also. You don't have to go out and get a pet. Baxter just has brought this brand new dimension in my whole life. And, I want to tell you something. One of my favorite quotes regarding being a new dog owner. This is something I saw at shakepaws.com. Give them credit. Man, this speaks the world to me. It's not what we have in life, but who we have in our lives that matter. Think about it. What would you do in your life without the good people in it? You could probably think about what you can do with your life without the bad people, which a lot of people spend their whole life trying to eliminate them. Keep doing it. You're on the right track. It's not what we have in life, but who we have in our lives that matter. This little puppy, Baxter, has changed my life. 4-legged animal, which I don't even like calling him an animal because to me, he's about as close to a person as you can get. Brings joy to my life. Joy. And I want to tell you something. I've learned so much, so many life lessons from being a dog owner these last 2 years. I'm confident I'm a better person because of him and what he's taught me. I couldn't spell patience before, and now I have patience. Little things that he's done for me. But I'm grateful that you tuned in today because it's really important to me. I'm not speaking to myself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm speaking to you guys because my goal with these podcasts here at Hurrdat Media is to hopefully set a spark, light a fire, encourage, empower, and inspire you to be the very best you can and realize how grateful we should be for being alive. I invite you to check out my book about Baxter. It's a 2-day delivery. You can get it at vandiep.com. I'll tell you, even as a gift for somebody that could use some happiness and some joy. So please subscribe to my podcast, rate it, review it, tell everybody about it. I'm here to help you have a better life. And I sure enjoy spending this time with you. Thank you for listening to the Van Diep Podcast.
A Hurrdat Media Production.